We left Dulles Tuesday evening. It was a 6-hour overnight flight, and we arrived in Amsterdam Wednesday afternoon. We shuttled over to the Pistana Hotel, which is next to the Amstel River. We are here till Friday when our boat leaves and cruises down the Rhine River. First thing I learned was to locate the bike path in relation to the sidewalk. Don't get them confused, because one wrong step changes everything. This is the hotel lobby, which is usually busier. Laura's in the shower, which is quite unique and interesting.
What do you think so far?
Very nice. Black and white toilet shoes.
Check the size of this left pillow here in relation to the bottle. It's huge. There are tons of bikes and bikers moving around everywhere. By Thursday, we were rested from the jet lag and walked around Amsterdam and looked at the stores, the sights, and just got a feel for the place. Up at the top are hooks on the wood outcrops. Hooks are used with ropes to bring the furniture up and in the windows because the stairs are windy and narrow. Here's the Heineken Brewery. There are tons of bikes and bikers moving around everywhere. This fallen hornblower is a memorial to 30 political Dutch prisoners executed on this spot by the Nazis in 1945.
While in Amsterdam, we stopped and I got some great hot chocolate. Steve got Heineken, the national beer of the Netherlands.
So you put a coin in here. This is the men's bathroom. And this is where I'd say there's a slight lack of privacy here. There are canals everywhere. And these homes are just along the canal, in the water. On this walking tour, we pass Amsterdam's massive Bim House Jazz Concert Hall, here since 1974. It's Friday, and we board the Viking to start our river cruise. After we enter our stateroom and unpack, we have one more adventure before we leave port, and that is an evening river dinner cruise around the smaller canals in Amsterdam.
It's a floating restaurant. It's a Chinese restaurant.
Today's excursion takes us to a village called Kinderdijk. It's a South Holland village where windmills still aid in removing water out of these low-lying areas. Most of these windmills were built during the 18th century. At one time, there were around 150 windmills in this area. Today, the total is just around 28. A few are open to visit, and here's a look inside one. The ground floor often housed a kitchen and living space, with bedrooms on upper levels, sometimes featuring cozy closet beds. Rooms served multiple purposes, and inhabitants adapted to the circular walls and tight spaces. This is the pumping station. When all the tours return for the day, we gather in the lounge for a briefing on the next day's adventure, in this case, Cologne, Germany. Then, before dinner, I do some video editing and check on the cameras. After a restful sleep, I went up to the sun deck early and took this dreamy video before heading out by bus to Cologne.
And then to the right we see the church, the cathedral, and in front you see the big church there, another big church, the Great St. Martin Church.
Cologne is the fourth most populous city of Germany and the largest city on the North Rhine. Prior to World War II, the city had undergone occupation by the French, the British, and was part of Prussia beginning in 1815.
Then 1941 the first bombers come. The German bombers first bombed Coventry in England and London.
Cologne was one of the most heavily bombed cities in Germany during World War II.
In the old Gestapo building, you can go in there, you can look at all the papers. If you have German relatives, you can just go to them and say, do you have anything about my family? And they will go down to the basement.
The bombing reduced the population by 93%, mainly due to evacuation, and 80% of the old city center was destroyed by bombing. We walked a great deal around the streets and parks with our guide. Cologne is a major cultural center for the Rhineland, and it hosts more than 30 museums and hundreds of galleries. History says it was founded in 38 BC by a Germanic tribe.
Always somebody there to keep them clean, and they have a little plate, and you don't have to pay them.
Parts of the original Roman sewers are still underneath the city. The recent sewage system opened in 1890. They still must be paying it off because one has to pay to use the bathroom.
We hear a lot of parakeets tonight. Because we have like around 6,000 parakeets in Cologne. They survive here all year. We don't know how they do it. And hundreds of them sleep right next to the ship, traditionally in the trees. They're like green, like this, tall, and they give you a great concert. Just if you go out at night and it's dark, don't stop under the trees.
After World War II, it took 15 years till the city's population increased to pre-war numbers. Most of the city had been destroyed except for the Cologne Cathedral, which bombers left alone for history's sake. The cathedral's construction started in 1248, but wasn't completed till 1880 due to financial problems, political religious conflicts, and technical issues. One of the notable things about this church is this gold container. It's famous for supposedly containing the bones of the three wise men. Every January 6th, they open the container so visitors may see these remains. Cologne Cathedral is 515 feet tall, making it the tallest twin-spired church in the world. One can climb the 533 steps of the South Tower for panoramic views.
We stopped at an Italian restaurant for pizza during one of our walks.
As I said, you will kind of start on one side of the town and make your way to the other side. So Koblenz, or you'll start kind of on the Moselle side and make your way through the town. So very, very pretty town to explore tomorrow. And then we do have our medieval Marksburg Castle tour. That's leaving at 8:30 tomorrow morning. And this will be a great tour heading up the hill to the Marksburg Castle.
Koblenz. The Church of St. Castor was built between 817 and 836. This church became an important meeting place for emperors and kings to negotiate and settle their disputes. In 862, negotiations led to territorial changes, which was part of an evolution of an Eastern and Western Empire, from which the Holy Roman Empire and eventually Germany and France developed from.
No cars are allowed. The cars are forbidden. You see any cars on that side? No, because the cars are forbidden. You see any man?
Since the French occupied Koblenz for 20 years around 1800, it resulted in many boys being born to French soldiers and German women. The boys were known for pranking, so residents embraced the boys as being fun-loving and clever. The Spitting Boy Fountain pays homage to them since it can spray out water on unsuspecting passerbys. We walked a few miles around Koblenz for an unforgettable tour through this picturesque old town. The old town offers a variety of charming squares, restaurants, and cafes. There are beautiful hidden courtyards with cozy places to relax. It's time to go back to the ship, have lunch, and then go to the sun deck for narration as we cruise through the Middle Rhine River Valley.
Sit back and relax and enjoy sailing through the Rhine Valley from Braubach, of course, to Rudesheim. Now we're now approaching the tiny town of Cobb, which only has about 1,000 inhabitants. Cobb is famous for three things. First of all, Gutenfels Castle, which you can see on the left-hand side. Falschgrafenstein, which is the incredible castle creation in the middle of the river just ahead of us. And the Blucher Museum. The castle that you can see on the left-hand side, on top, protruding from the slate rocks and the forest, was originally known as Cobb Castle in the 1200s, but since 1504 it has been called Gutenfels, quite literally meaning good rock, a name it deserved after withstanding a 45-day siege. Here in Cobb, the remains of a Celtic grave were found in 1925 that dates from 500 BC. The banks of the river, with its historical towns, castles, forests, nature reserves and vine-clad slopes, form a striking natural and cultural landscape. For hundreds of years, the upper Middle Rhine Valley was the spill of Germany's activity. Merchants, pilgrims, travellers and great armies all passed through this valley. That was then the beginning of what is now known as the Rhine Romantic movement. He was so enamoured by the beauty of the landscape with its medieval villages and castles that he decided to collect and preserve all of its folklore, songs and fairy tales and legends. From the dawn of human time, the Rhine has played a very important role. It comprises the drinking water for approximately 30 million people. By the time we reach Basel on Friday morning, we will have travelled a total distance of 542 miles along the Rhine River. So get comfortable, ladies and gentlemen. These castles were built to show off. They were built to show power. They were built to show wealth. These castles were often built by really horrible people, in all fairness. And that is Mouse Castle on our left-hand side, overlooking the pretty little town of Welming, one of the smallest towns on the river. There's about 1,100 year-round inhabitants. Probably the most famous part of the Rhine, the section of the Lorelei. And just ahead of us now as well, we can see the Lorelei Rock, which is 435 feet high, and you will be able to see 3 flag poles on top, where one is led to believe the Lorelei used to sit and sing. and she must have had a very powerful voice to be heard on the river below. The rock produced an echo that was legendary. The echo was associated with the legend of a beautiful maiden combing her golden locks as she sat on a rock. Legend said that she became a siren, eternally luring boatsmen to their deaths. I fear there's a crash. The boat now sinking, and that with melodic singing, the Lorelei will have done. Remember, one day is Judgment Day. The church was the most powerful institution in those days. When you look at the white church of St. Martin, you can see that the church tower is completely fortified, including battlements around it. This indicates the town's violent past. And then a little bit further ahead of us, we have the Red Church, or the Church of Our Lady, which houses an incredible filigree choir screen, which is a jewel of Gothic craftsmanship, and a golden altar that is considered one of the oldest and most precious carved altars in Germany. For those of you in front of the wheelhouse, if you look back now, you will get a great view and potentially a fabulous picture of everything that the Rhine is famous for. Here, directly in front of us at the Bacharach Han, the vines are almost entirely vertically planted, as they do produce different types of Riesling grapes. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of our commentary with our final village and castle on our right-hand side. This is the town of Bacharach and the castle of Stahleck. And Stahleck Castle was built in the 12th century by order of the Archbishop of Cologne to protect the Fur Valley region around Bacharach. For centuries, the castle was owned by the most powerful and important families of the empire and proved to be quite profitable after the introduction of the Bacharach line toll in the 13th century. Now, of course, in 1689, during the French invasion, the castle was blown up by those pesky French troops. Debris from the explosion flew into the town and even destroyed the nearby Gothic Werner Chapel.
After the sun deck narration, we sailed a bit more, then docked in Rudesheim. We were able to disembark and walk around that town as well. This Ferris wheel was huge. Often boats will side dock with each other to save shoreline. This is our sister ship, the Viking Manny, closest to the shore. Then they create a direct walking path from the shore through their ship to our mid-lobby. Monday was a busy day. I didn't take much video here in Rudesheim, except there was a beautiful sunset. Speyer is a town of 50,000. It was founded by the ancient Romans as a fortification on the northeast frontier of the Roman Empire. We are on our way to the Speyer Cathedral. In 1030, Emperor Conrad II started construction on the Speyer Cathedral. It wasn't completed till 1106. It is dedicated to, among others, St. Stephen. It is also the burial site of many emperors and kings over 300 years. It is the largest remaining Romanesque church. Speyer Cathedral miraculously survived World War II relatively unscathed.
Okay, looking at that new Romanesque-style church face now, done by the Bavarians, the youngest part of the building, just 180 years old, all filled with theological background. You know, for the Christians, they're easy to understand. Christ is the middle of everything. They made him here in the middle. Look at the ornamentation around his head. Everything was coming from him and also going back to him. A meaning. You see the four evangelists in the corners, starting top right, angel, bull, winged lion, olive wings, and the eagle. This is Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. John P.
Speyer Cathedral's architecture is massive in scale, thick walls and rounded arches. It was the first church to have a fully vaulted stone roof. It is a significant symbol of medieval imperial power with its 4 towers and 2 domes.
This is always a submarine from World War II here.
To gain entry into Strasbourg itself, Strasbourg is a medieval island, and because of that, it is surrounded by different canals, and these canals have very, very small locks on them. Locks that are far too small, unfortunately, for our ships to get through, for any ships really to get through. In fact, there was a company a couple of years ago that attempted to go through one of these locks. They thought that they could get through, and unfortunately they got stuck in the lock for 4 days.
Strasbourg has been a mix of French and German cultures for centuries. It also has seen the coexistence of Catholic and Protestant culture. Economically, Strasbourg is an important center of manufacturing and engineering, as well as a hub of road, rail, and river transportation. The port of Strasbourg is the second largest river port in France after Paris. The Carousel 1900 of Place Gutenberg is a beautiful amusement park ride that's located in the middle of the square in Strasbourg, France. The carousel is 2 stories high and has many different horses to ride on.
I was gonna get lost.
Yeah, my training today. Oh, this is Germany. This is the German side.
Oh, we need that
But if you put like this, no, it's the French side.
Do not use this map.
Exactly.
Strasbourg's streets are famous for their fairy tale charm with its cobblestones, canals, historic bridges, cozy taverns, and timbered houses. The streets offer seasonal decorations, especially around Christmas. There's also the stunning Strasbourg Cathedral, which we'll get to shortly. The Strasbourg Cathedral construction was completed in 1439. Today, it is the 6th tallest church in the world and the tallest structure built entirely in the Middle Ages. Although considerable parts are Romanesque architecture, it is widely considered to be among the finest examples of Gothic architecture. The reddish-brown sandstone from nearby mountains gives the cathedral its distinctive color. During the war, the stained glass was removed in 74 storage cases and stored in a salt mine. After the war, it was returned to the cathedral by the U.S. military. The cathedral was hit by British and American bombs during air raids in August 1944. Repairs to all the war-damaged areas were only completed in the early 1990s. In 2000, an Al-Qaeda plot to bomb the adjacent Christmas market was prevented by French and German police. There was a restoration of the tower, and that was completed in 2006. This cathedral also houses a famous astronomical clock.
You can see the famous astronomical clock of Strasbourg, made during the second half of the 16th century by the Protestant priests. Before we start the discovery of the astronomical clock, just 2 points. First point, all the paintings, all the sculptures from the 16th century. But the mechanism of the clock was broken 1 year before the French Revolution in 1788.
This is a standard monthly siren check, not an actual attack. It's done at noon on the first Wednesday of every month all throughout France. It sounds just as you would imagine if it were 1944. We were quickly informed by the locals around us that it's a regular test. Wednesday night, we navigated through a lock on the Rhine River. It's an up-close, almost theme park feel as you're surrounded by concrete with opportunities to see the engineering up close, sometimes a little too close. A lot of us came up to the sun deck to view the process. Our ship enters the chamber with another ship. Then the massive gates close behind us. Water levels rise or fall. In this case, they're rising. And then the gates open up in front to the next stretch of the river. Here's a look at the main lobby, midship, and it's nearby our stateroom, which I'll walk over to. Stateroom's right here, very convenient. And it's rather small compared to ocean line cruisers. Adequate. Here's my video working station right here. And we have a little veranda, but they're very small. Not wide at all as compared to the ocean liners. But you have a nice view. We are docked in Breisach, Germany. We are driving to a very lush green part of the country now. We're here in the Black Forest. This is the deep southwest part of Germany. It's Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. On the Viking Cruise, this is a little excursion off the boat to see the Black Forest of Germany. And this is a creek or river that's running through it. It has a peak of nearly 5,000 feet and is the source of the Danube River. And walking back to the trail source, this is our building and where our contacts are and the bus. And right here downstairs, the chef was showing how he makes Black Forest cake, but time ran out and none of us got samples. So with our mouths full of expectation, we had to board the bus back to the ship. This is our last night, the final goodbye.
So ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for our onboard captain and nautical team.
It was a great trip.